Hi guys, it's Morgan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the movie Hocus Pocus 2. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, there will be spoilers in this review, so stop watching if you don't want to be spoiled. So, here's my review of the movie Hocus Pocus 2. Now, unfortunately, Omri Ketch, Vanessa Shaw, and Thora Birch, who played Max, Allison, and Danny in the original Hocus Pocus, do not reprise their roles in the sequel. Thora Birch was going to be in the sequel, but she was filming something else at the same time, and they weren't able to get the schedule to work out. It would have been really nice to see an adult Danny, but it was unable to happen. The one good thing about Max, Allison, and Danny not being in the sequel is they didn't have to deal with the Sanderson sisters again. Even though Winifred, Sarah, and Mary acted the same way they do as adults when they were kids, I still felt sorry for them when it looked like Sarah and Mary were going to be separated from Winifred. But luckily, the three of them were able to run away together into the woods, and they were given book by the Mother Witch, and they became the Sanderson sisters that we know and love. Even though they grew apart, it was clear that Cassie missed spending Becca's birthday with Becca and Izzy. But instead, this year, she was throwing a party and didn't even get the chance to tell Becca and Izzy. They found out from Cassie's boyfriend, Mike. It was obvious that Becca and Izzy were going to become friends with Cassie again, but it was still nice when it happened. And I loved seeing the three of them work together to defeat the Sanderson sisters. Seeing Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy reprise their roles as Winifred, Sarah, and Mary made me really happy. Even though about 30 years have passed since the first Hocus Pocus came out, seeing the three of them made it seem like no time had passed. And I also thought it was funny how Becca and Izzy reacted to the Sanderson sisters when they were singing "The Witches Are Back." And it was also funny when Izzy asked who they were performing for, and Sarah said for them. It was pretty funny when Becca and Izzy were able to convince the Sanderson sisters that they weren't teenagers, they were 40. And they also told them that lotions were filled with children's souls, so they didn't have to kill children anymore. It was obvious that the Sanderson sisters weren't going to believe this for a long time, but it was still really enjoyable. And it was also funny that Winifred flew on a broom, Sarah flew on a Swiffer, and Mary flew on Roombas. It was a twist to find out that Gilbert had seen the Sanderson sisters when they came back the first time in the first movie when he was a kid, And that's why he tricked Becca and Izzy into bringing them back, because he didn't believe they were really evil. He thought that they were just misunderstood. But he realized he was wrong and was cursed to help the Sanderson sisters get the ingredients they needed for their spell. I didn't like that Gilbert tricked Billy into helping him find the rest of the ingredients by telling him he was making a potion to kill Winifred instead of telling him that the Sanderson sisters had cursed him to help them. Billy had a right to be upset when he found out the truth. Even though Becca had to tell Mayor Trask about the party that Cassie was throwing, which would obviously ruin the party, it caused the mayor to leave the festival, so the Sanderson sisters weren't able to find him, since they wanted to kill him because he was the descendant of a reverend that they hated when they were kids. But by singing One Way or Another, the Sanderson sisters cursed people at the festival to help them find the mayor. But when those people did find the mayor, the spell was broken. You would think a better spell would have been to curse them to find the mayor and then bring him to the Sanderson sisters. Also, I loved the performance in the first Hocus Pocus movie, I Put a Spell on You, but I also loved the performance of One Way or Another in this movie. When Gilbert told Becca and Izzy that it was on the 16th birthday that a witch gets her powers, it was obvious that it would be revealed that Becca was a witch. But the fact that Becca was a witch helped her in the fight against the Sanderson sisters. And it was also a really great moment when Book chose Becca over Winifred. Since the warning for the spell that the Sanderson sisters did was that it would take what you value most, I automatically knew that that meant Winifred was going to lose Sarah and Mary. And even though they're evil, it was still really sad to see Sarah and Mary disappearing, and I felt really sorry for Winifred. So it was nice when Becca agreed to do a spell that would reunite Winifred with Sarah and Mary, and Winifred started to disappear too. That was also the first time I ever heard Winifred say thank you. It was also emotional to see that Book was crying. It was also sad that the spell caused Billy to disappear too, but I liked that Gilbert promised him that he would make sure everyone knew the truth about Billy's relationship with Winifred. I loved that during the credits, we saw the Sanderson sisters in a recording studio singing The Witches Are Back. And then in the after credit scene, we saw a box that said BF Candle number 2. So that means that there's another black flame candle. So that leaves open the possibility of a third movie. If there is a third movie, I would definitely watch it. Also, if there is a third movie, I hope it doesn't take another 30 years for it to come out. Thanks for watching, guys! If you saw Hocus Pocus 2, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And if you want to see any of my future videos, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!